Have you ever felt that the chains around you, those invisible forces that shape your life, are not made of metal, but of expectations, norms, and fears? We live in a world that pushes us to conform, to perform, to be something we are not. Yet we long for something deeper, a sense of peace, of freedom that transcends all these societal bonds. But what if true freedom isn't about breaking out of these chains, but understanding that we were never truly bound by them to begin with? What if the key to finding peace is not in escaping the world, but in mastering the art of inner liberation? We often believe that in order to feel free, we need to escape, to break away from the world around us, society, relationships, obligations. But what if freedom isn't a place to be reached, but a way of seeing and being? Imagine a life where no external force could ever truly control you, where the weight of expectations could no longer press upon your soul. Imagine being so deeply in touch with your own inner nature that you were no longer moved by the external noise of society. This kind of freedom is what the mystics like Hafez speak of. It's not a wild rebellion or a loud protest, but a quiet surrender to the beauty of the present moment and the realization that we are already free in our hearts. So let's begin this journey together as we look to the wisdom of the 14th century Persian poet Hafez, whose words have echoed through centuries, guiding us toward a profound sense of peace and freedom. His poetry is not just beautiful, it is a map to inner liberation, a map that invites us to live authentically, to embrace the essence of our being without the need for external validation. His work shows us that the path to freedom is not found in external circumstances, but in how we relate to ourselves and the world around us. In the intricate dance of life, we often find ourselves entangled in the web of external expectations. Society has its rules, its pressures, its ideals, and we, like marionettes, often move to the rhythm of those strings without realizing we have the power to cut them. This is where Hafez comes in, he whose soul soared beyond the limitations of his time, who saw the human heart as a vast expanse that cannot be confined by earthly structures. Hafez was a mystic poet who understood the inner dimensions of the soul and the spiritual freedom that is available to all. His poetry often centers around the idea that human beings are not bound by the physical world, nor are they prisoners to society's expectations. Instead, our true essence is free, untethered, and infinite. In his words, there is a recurring theme, a desire for liberation that goes beyond the mundane, a yearning for an existence unshackled by societal confines. Hafez is constantly inviting us to release our attachments to the world, to material things, and even to the roles we play in life. In the midst of a world that values outward appearances, Hafez invites us to dive deep into the inner world. For, as he beautifully puts it, I am the soul of the wine, not its vessel. This is one of his most profound teachings. The vessel, our body, our ego, the roles we play, is not the true essence. It is just a temporary form. The soul, the essence within, is the true self that exists beyond any limitations. The moment we connect with this soul, we realize that we are not bound by anything in the external world. No title, no label, no expectation can confine us. What Hafez is telling us is that our essence, our true freedom, is not defined by what others think, by the roles we are forced to play, or by the identities that are assigned to us. True peace comes when we transcend these labels and return to our true nature, a nature that is as boundless as the skies. We live in a world where freedom is often defined by external circumstances, by how much we own, by how successful we are, by how others see us. But what if the chains that bind us are not made of tangible things, but of the thoughts and beliefs we hold? What if true freedom lies not in having everything we desire, but in realizing that we were never truly imprisoned to begin with? Hafez's poetry speaks to the heart of this. In one of his most famous verses, he writes, "Don't be content with stories, how things have gone with others. Unfold your own myth. This is an invitation to break free from the narratives that others have written for us. Society's expectations, the opinions of others, the roles we have been cast into, they are all just stories. And as Hafez teaches, we are the authors of our own myth. True liberation comes when we stop letting the world define who we are, when we stop letting external pressures dictate our worth. The chains that bind us are of our own making. The moment we decide to let go of these self-imposed limitations, the moment we choose to rewrite our story, we step into a freedom that is beyond anything the world could offer. Take a moment to reflect. How many of your actions, your choices, your desires are truly your own? How much of who you are is shaped by the expectations of society, the judgments of others, or the roles you feel compelled to play? Hafez offers a profound invitation to step out of the illusion, to no longer be bound by these invisible forces, and to embrace the true freedom that lies in knowing yourself fully, deeply, and without compromise. True freedom, according to Hafez, doesn't lie in escaping the world. It lies in understanding that the world itself is an illusion. The more we hold on to external attachments, the more we increase our suffering. But when we learn to let go, when we surrender to the flow of life, we enter into a state of pure tranquility. We become like the garden, serene, unperturbed by the noise outside, untouched by the passing seasons. But where does this freedom lead us? What happens when we finally release the chains? For many, the idea of freedom conjures images of rebellion, of chaos, of loud protests against the system. But Hafez offers us a different perspective, quieter, more profound freedom. To him, true freedom isn't an outward rebellion, but an inward peace. The soul, once unburdened, finds rest in itself. In the stillness of the heart, we come to understand that the world, in all its turbulence, is but a fleeting illusion. Hafez writes, "The soul is here for its own joy, and the world is the flower garden of the heart." This idea of peace is not about ignoring the chaos of the world, but about realizing that the chaos does not touch the soul. The world may be full of distractions, challenges, and sorrows, but the soul's true nature is stillness, love, and freedom. This is the key to inner peace, to let go of the need to control the external world and to instead cultivate a deep, unwavering peace within. In his view, peace comes from the acceptance of this fleeting nature of existence. The more we hold on to external attachments, the more we suffer. But when we learn to release our grip on the world, when we stop trying to force things to be the way we want them to be, we experience the profound peace of simply being. To rest in the moment, to allow life to flow without resistance, that is where true peace resides. But how do we reach this inner freedom? Hafez's wisdom guides us toward this path with his message of surrender. It's not a surrender to forces outside us, but to the divine flow of existence. It's an invitation to trust in the natural rhythm of the universe, to allow life to unfold without clinging to the outcome. Hafez speaks of this surrender when he says, "I have learned so much from my tears that I now take my sadness and turn it into something beautiful." This is where true liberation lies, not in fighting against life, but in surrendering to it, to trust that every experience, every moment, is part of the divine design. This does not mean passivity, but rather a conscious letting go, a deep trust that the universe knows what it's doing, even when we cannot see the bigger picture. To find inner peace, we must learn to see life as it is, not as we wish it to be. We must embrace the present moment fully, without the fear of what has been or what will come. Like Hafez, we must accept the flow of life and find beauty in every moment, in every experience. Life is not a battle to be won, but a journey to be embraced. In the final understanding of freedom, Hafez points us to one thing above all others: love. Love, in its truest sense, is the key that unlocks the chains we wear. It's not a love bound by possession or expectation, but a love that flows freely, unconditionally, and without attachment. Hafez's love is one that transcends the material world. It's a love that connects the soul to the divine, a love that sees beyond the superficial and into the heart of existence. In one of his most profound verses, he says, "When the soul lies down in that grass, the world is too full to talk about ideas, language, even to phrase each other. No tracings of the self remain." This love, this divine connection, is the ultimate freedom. When we are immersed in love, we transcend the limitations of the ego, the confines of social roles, and the expectations of the world. We are liberated into a state of pure being, where the boundaries between us and the universe dissolve. This is the freedom that Hafez speaks of, a freedom that comes not from escaping the world, but from seeing it through the eyes of love. So, where does this journey leave us? What have we discovered about freedom and inner peace? The answer, perhaps, lies in the realization that true freedom is not about escaping the world, but embracing it with a heart full of love, a soul unburdened by attachments, and a mind at peace with the present moment. Hafez teaches us that when we free ourselves from the chains of society, we unlock the door to an inner world of peace, love, and joy. As you reflect on these thoughts, remember that freedom lies within. It is not something to be sought outside, but to be discovered in the depths of your own being. And as you continue on this path of inner discovery, may you always find peace in knowing that you are already free. If you've enjoyed this inner journey, we invite you to stay with us. Subscribe to our channel and like this video to ensure you don't miss the next step in our exploration of the mystical and philosophical wisdom of the ages. May your journey to inner peace continue until we meet again.